Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Here we are, second week of classes. Classes are going great. Getting busy again. I just got assigned to my school for field experience. I'm at Prairie Winds, the middle school here in Mankato, for 1 hour, and then I drive out to Tri-City United Middle School and High School in Montgomery, Minnesota, to do 3 hours of tutoring in the schools there. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get into the classroom and start experiencing what it's like to be a teacher, and really have, the confirmation of whether or not I want to be a teacher or not. So I'm excited for that. It'll be really cool. So this week was kind of a busy week. Starting to collect all my thoughts and starting to organize what I need to do, what I have to get done, and just kind of what is expected of me here, starting to get back into the swing of things. So as an LCC and a member of the LC, you're expected to participate in what are called one-on-ones. So like I personally have a one-on-one with my GA every single week. That's just a half-hour conversation with my GA, or technically my supervisor, with how things are going, what's going on, how's life, any questions or concerns that I have, and things that they can do to help me be more productive. So there's that. And then as a member of being an LC, you're expected to participate in a one-on-one with your student, and that is a half hour long time slot. It can go however long you need it to, and it's just a time for the LCC to ask students in the LC how things are going, to check in on them, make sure things are going good and that they don't have any questions, and then that if things do come up, that they are handled correctly, and that the student gets any questions answered or any thoughts out on the table that they need out, so that way the LCC can better help them. And so I send out on I use Calendly to help me schedule those events. I put into my Calendly my class times, my availability, stuff like that, and then I can link that directly to both of my calendars that I have. That way I don't get over booked on things, and I don't get double booked, because it's going to be a struggle being as busy as I am with my tutoring experience, both through class, but then the tutoring I experience get through the middle school after school program. It eats up a lot of time, so just making sure that I'm on top of my game, and that my students know where to find my Calendly and stuff like that. And so I email them the link, and then they go in, they sign up for a time slot that works for them. I get a confirmation email, I confirm that it works in my schedule, and then they get a confirmation email after I confirm it, so that way they can put it into their calendar. And they show up, and we have a half-hour meeting. I host my one-on-ones here in my room. I think it's a good place. Obviously, it's a private place, and I've talked with my students. I've made sure that being in a room is not uncomfortable. So I just do them in here. I have a nice futon that is very nice and convenient to do the conversations. And it's just a lot of fun. One-on-ones are really time-consuming, and they can be kind of strenuous on me. But the big reason why I became an LCC is the personal connection and one-on-one interaction that I have with students. I don't know what it is, but I love interacting. I love talking. I love being with my students. And so these one-on-ones are actually just a really cool way for me to discuss and catch up with the students about where they're at in life, how things are going, and just just have a general dialogue about college life. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. So I started those this week. I got 4 done this week. So it was good. It's a good start. I have a whole bunch more. In total, I have 22 students, so that means I have to do 22 one-on-ones. So I'll be doing them for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll get them done by, February 8th or 9th. So somewhere in there. But yeah. So that's one-on-ones. So for my event this week, I did the Honor Student Body event, which is a monthly meeting that is held by the Honor Student Body or the Honors Executive Board, because the Honors is an RSO technically, so they have an executive board who plans a monthly meeting, and this month they planned on doing the event for the month was a game night, and that's just a time for students in the honors program to come play games, hang out, eat snacks, and just interact with other students. And then Leah and Ginny are there. Sadly, Ginny was preoccupied this time and she was not able to join us. But Leah White, Dr. White, was there, and Tomide who's the GA in the honors office, were there. So it's kind of cool to be able to, and that's one thing that is really nice about the LC program and also the honors program, is that there's direct faculty interaction all the time. As an LCC, I'm required pretty much monthly to have at least one faculty interaction. That way my students can get talking to different faculty and different authority figures on campus. And so this month I did the Honor Student Body as my faculty interaction event of the month. But it was good. My students, perks of being in the dorms, right? My students love game night. It's very, very entertaining for them. The one struggle, I had 8 students show up to that. I don't think Thursdays are going to work great this semester for timing of the events for my students. So I'm going to try to stay away from doing the Thursday events and do more of the Monday, Tuesday type things. So, but we'll see how that all works out. But I had 8 students show up to the HSB meeting, which is good. I averaged last semester 9.5 students, but obviously you can't have a half a student show up to an event. So I had in between 9 and 10 students showing up on average to my events, which out of 22 is a decent amount, but not. My goal for last semester was to have an average of 14 students, so I undershot that by a decent amount. I think a big part of that was me not planning as well as I could have. I kind of just flew by the seat of my pants and tried to plan events the week of, so I didn't give my students much notice in advance. So that's one of my goals this semester is to work on my organization and to work on planning ahead, so that way my students have what they need to plan and to work towards getting to my events. So I'm going to work hard on making sure that I am communicating effectively and working ahead of the schedule to make sure that my students are fully aware of when and what is going on. So I'll keep you updated on that. And then for study zones, I started study zones. I had really, really, really crappy turnout for that. I had one student show up to my Wednesday study zone, and then nobody show up to my Friday study zone, so not what we want. Last semester I think I averaged 7 6 or 7 students at each study zone. And obviously I'm busier this semester. Obviously my students are busier this semester. So it's going to be a struggle to work towards finding a study zone time that works for everyone. But for the foreseeable future, I will be bouncing around my study zones to make sure that my students, to find a time that works best for my students. And it is what it is. So we'll make it work. Coming up here on, I believe it's February 2nd, applications for new LCCs are due. So we had an LCC informational meeting this Tuesday night, and that was just kind of a time where the current LCCs got in front of the room. Gene Clark, who's the director of the LC program, talked about and discussed, what it's like being an LC, and then her GAs, Emily and Katie, really took advantage and didn't take advantage, but took charge of that event and discussed what the nitty-gritty details of being an LCC are, so that way the students who are interested could have a little bit more information about what it's like. And then they had 15-20 minutes of time where they could sit there, ask any questions that they had or needed to be answered, and they could ask us directly as current LCCs what our experience was like, and just general questions like that. It was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining to see who turned out for that event, and all kinds of different questions that were asked. I think a lot of the students were happy that they had that event, so that's good. I have, I believe, 4 students who are interested in being an LCC, so I'm excited for them. Obviously, I'm not going to share their names, I'm not going to share their information, just for confidentiality reasons. But I'm excited for them to apply. I think all 4 of them would be great LCCs, and I'm excited to see who it is. So, things that I can improve upon from this week are, I had to reschedule a couple of my one-on-ones already, because I don't have my schedule fully put into my calendar. I'm still trying to figure out the nuances of my schedule, so I'm trying to figure out how things work out for me. And I missed a couple of things in my own schedule that were already planned, and so that when my students went to sign up for a one-on-one time, that time looked available, but it was not available for me. And so I had to reschedule a couple of one-on-ones already, which kind of feels crappy, but so I could work on improving upon that. My big push for this semester is going to be on top and being organized, making sure I don't miss things or let things slip through the cracks. So I'm going to be pushing for that, and I'll be working hard for that. And obviously communication, but we'll get there. So in regards to being an LCC and improving upon myself, I'm always looking for ways to be a better LCC and a better communicator, and just in general being better at what I do. And so I've been trying to do a lot of reflection on what I'm feeling, what I think my students are feeling, and just general, how things are going. And I think that's really the first level of reflection, is sitting down and really thinking about how things are going, what I'm doing, is it working, and is it not working. So I'm gonna be trying to work hard at doing that this semester. Right now, I would say I'm not doing nearly as good as I could be. I'm kind of struggling when it comes to communicating things and being on top of my game. So, sorry, I just got an email. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, back to being on top of things. My email's blowing up. Ginny. sending me emails. But anywho, I'm going to be working on making sure that I know where I'm at, where my students are at, and seeing how I can better serve them. So be on the lookout. I will see you next week.